Hi, happy Monday. It's your daily update. How are you feeling? What have you been thinking about or doing? I'm managing here with my blind girl problems. You know, the retinitis pigmentosa that's genetic in our family. It's no joke. My gosh, do you hear the birds? They have been going to town lately, just chirping all the time. So much going on, as you know, with the new mystery school that started. I've been accepting applications for that. If you have questions about it, let me know and I'll send you a video that tells you all about it to give you kind of a background on what it's about. But it's incredible, and I'm working with students on that and really, really enjoying it. I've got fun things coming in, there's I don't know what to call them, like an occupational therapist or something that works with people with this condition that is coming to my house this week to help do some things like set up, I don't even know, like they make your house easier to walk around in when you can't see. So there's that. A lot of people are asking me questions about the depth of the problem, and that's a fun way to say it because I have like almost zero depth perception, and that is the nature of the problem. So I can still see, but it's just very hazy and very foggy, and I don't see features of people's faces, or I don't see like the edges of things very well. It's like a bunch of light shows in my head is the best way I can explain, like halos everywhere and glare is primarily what I see. I see more with etheric vision than I do with physical vision. If you get really close to me, like I can see you, but it would be uncomfortably close, like really uncomfortably close. And even then I can't see your features. So I don't drive anymore. People are driving me around. What's been hard is I'm getting some visual aids. I forgot to tell you that I'm getting some visual aids that are coming in the mail. One of my friends is sending me something, and also this lady that's working as my occupational therapist with my ophthalmologist's office is sending me some kind of like 30-time magnifying lens to put over my phone or something like that. I'm learning to use voiceover. So I've got the same lady is going to be training me with how to fully use voiceover on my phone and training me to interpret Braille. So there's this thing that you have to do to desensitize your fingers so that you can actually feel the Braille. Because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to feel Braille, but it feels like indistinguishable bumps. It's very odd to try to feel it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what that means. Just a bunch of bumps. So like feeling the differences between that and desensitizing your fingers to be able to read it correctly and to feel it. Everything's about feeling. You find touch points in your home so that you can know like where you're going from room to room and things like that. These are the things that I'm learning right now. I'm getting a lot of messages like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for you. I feel sorry for you. Please don't. That's hard for me. Because I'm trying to just kind of stay in a positive place about it. I can hardly see the screen at all anymore, so I'm really looking forward to those visual aids coming in. I can like look directly at the screen, but I can't find the camera where the camera should be, so I'm always looking around. But I can like kind of, when I magnify the lens, like using a magnifying glass, I can find where my mouse should go, and I could find where to click start on my meetings, and I can find how to end them. But insofar as emails, I completely am responding to you with the voiceover on my phone right now. And this occupational therapist is going to work with me with so many other ways. And she's like, it's okay. People going blind have jobs and do normal things. And I'm like, really? Oh my gosh, okay. My spiritual gifts and my ability to tap into you, oh my gosh, it has just gotten stronger. Stronger. Like, I thought it couldn't get any stronger. I thought my etheric vision couldn't get better, but it just did. And my knowledge that comes through is twice as strong. My voice is changing in a good way. I can hit more alto tones. That's a strange side effect spiritually of this. What else is going on? Other things like it's basically like my hearing. I feel like I'm a bat. I don't know how to explain this, but how I know where to look at you when you're talking to me is it feels like some sort of echolocation or something. It feels like I can feel and hear your voice, and I can hear and feel where it lands, and it bounces back to you. And I can follow that. And that's how sometimes it looks like I'm at least looking in your general direction because of that. So right now I only feel and follow and hear my own voice. So I'm looking everywhere because it's bouncing everywhere. So when I see sound waves in my mind's eye, I actually can see them a little bit energetically and physically still as well. So there's interesting things like that going on. My guides told me this would happen in this lifetime, but I didn't believe them. There's that. I was like, oh, I've always had bad vision. What is your idea of blindness anyway? They're like, really blind, Pamela, like blind. But it doesn't look like darkness for me. I actually, colors are a problem in my closet. Like when I look for a white shirt, I can't tell if it's white and pink, and all pastels just look like white. Black and brown and forest green and things like that just look black. Like things are starting to happen where I don't really know. Like I know what blue looks like and red. So I can see like blues and reds and purples, but yellow looks like white. Everything looks like either white or black. And I feel like I'm losing memory of what colors should look like particularly green. And pinks and pastels. I don't really remember what they look like, but like my friends will tell me, no, you don't match. I'm like, oh, I thought this was white. So my occupational therapist is like, oh, there's this little thing that I can give you that you can put running across your shirt, and it like visually senses it and tells you what color it is. And I'm like, ooh, how accurate is it? So curling my hair has been a lot of fun. I burned myself several times. Cooking. Oh my gosh, cooking. I love to cook, and I'm not going to stop trying. But my friend Rachel is probably going to temporarily move in with me for a little while until I can kind of get the handle of cooking and folding clothes. Little tactile things, are a real struggle. So, blind girl problems. I'm blind, but I'm not blind. So, because I can still see in a very, very different way. A very different way. Rachel came over and made me this juice with this little lid on it so I can keep it, nice and fresh. So that's incredible. And Russ brought all my kids to school, and Rachel's picking them up and bringing them back to me. And sessions are going like they normally do. I use a magnifying glass to click start and end. And emails are going not like they normally do. Funny things are happening with that, let me tell you. This is so funny. Like I'm talking to clients and, about mystery school practices, and I'm getting their emails, and I'm like, oh, by the way, I saw you in Babylon in the astral realm last night. And autocorrect comes in and said, I saw you in bathroom in the astral realm last night. And my clients kind of like, that particular client was like, Pamela, really? Like, I know that you check in on me and make sure I'm okay, but there's like a line here personally. I'm like, oh man, I didn't say that. So little things are happening like that, yeah. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting stuff. So I'm just kind of like trying to laugh at it and keep in good spirits. So it's really exciting. Oh, channeling Eric's coming up in just a few minutes at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. You'll see me channeling Eric for a Q&A. If you want to get your questions answered from Eric, you want to hear from a loved one, please go on to Channeling Eric, the Channeling Eric site on YouTube, and you'll be able to pay attention to the live chat there and ask your questions to Eric. So, and I will channel him and return his responses. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Today I have a satsang, just a spiritual development class where you get to ask your personal questions and talk about your struggles in your life with your practice. And anything really with your emotions or your body, or any questions that you have are really good for satsangs. It's basically like a spiritual live Q&A. I know the yoga terms are really hard to follow, but that's what I mean when I say satsang. And then I take your questions and I develop class material out of it and answer your question personally, but also talk about it insofar as how it's affecting everyone in the class and the lessons that are involved in that could apply to anyone. So that's what satsangs are. They're incredibly sacred and they're beautiful. Sometimes I sing during them just to start off. Sometimes I don't. But I'm kind of adjusting to how my voice is changing since the visions started to go away. So I'm just kind of having a little adjustment. So I may or may not sing today. I think that's about it. The kids and I are traveling to see my partner in Ireland soon in a couple of weeks. We're going through a very long visa process. You know, the K1 is no joke. It takes like sometimes 10 months to a year to come through. And we haven't even filed yet because there's a lot of paperwork to gather and very personal paperwork to gather. They're so nosy. So that's about it. I feel very supported, you know, in my spiritual community and my family here. I have a lot of people surrounding me and helping, and I'm doing very well. And I hope that you're doing very well. It's just such an interesting journey. Oh, another thing I wanted to share with you. I was kind of sad a little bit about this because I was asking my guides, you know, with the blindness, how am I going to hike? I had plans this year to get in better shape in my body and then to hike Angel's Landing, which is a really big feat for those of you who have hiked in Mount Zion. And they showed me a vision, and it was a beautiful vision. And it was of me kind of getting in shape, you know, in my house, and I had like a stationary bike as well as a treadmill, and I was exercising with them fine and exercising in my pool. And they were like, that's how you're going to get in better shape. And then they showed me me climbing Zion, but I had some specific type of aids, you know, to do it. And I also had 2 friends on each side of me, kind of like making sure that I landed right and walked in the right places. And I was still able to do it in this vision. So that made me really, really happy because most of the time my visions are really accurate. So oh my gosh, I got a big smile on my face when I was telling my partner about it. Like, wow, really? I can still do that? I can still do the things? And I asked deeper about the purpose of it, and they said, well, people think that blind people are helpless, and you're not. And not only are you not, but this is growing into a deeper gift. And accessing those deeper abilities and still also inspiring others to show them what can be done, you know, when allegedly blind, is going to be a deep inspiration in your life for other people. They told me that I had gone blind many times and gone deaf many times, and you know, we talked a lot, my guides and I, about, you know, these many times are in other lifetimes, obviously. But we talked a lot about like this whole principle and theory of if you have ailments and conditions, you know, that is some kind of a law of attraction problem with something wrong in your life, like you don't want to see the truth of your life, or you don't want to see others, or you don't want to. And they were like, no, that's not the case for teachers and mystics and channels. So channels, teachers, mystics, healers, masters, gurus, rishis, and Sufi masters, like yogis all around the world, psychic people and channels, especially healers, have all sorts of things that go kind of awry in the body because their bodies are trying to adjust at the cellular level to huge amounts of light and different vibrations and frequencies coming in. So for instance, for me, retinitis pigmosa is a condition that changes the cones and rods in your eyes. So you can see where I'm coming from with how, as I'm shifting, I feel like I'm sliding on a banana peel between a physical world and an etheric world. So my vision is very etheric, but seeing solid matter is still a challenge. So these things happen so that you can connect closer to God within you, and you get such an experience of grace that is virtually undefinable in human words even. It's such a beautiful experience in that way. So please don't feel sorry for me, because I'm having a beautiful experience in a way that I can't even try to explain to you yet, although one day I will. One day I will write about it and explain it to you. Be blessed. Have a happy Monday. See you tomorrow.